Hi guys, so today we'll be trying out Spellbinders' new Butterfly Bliss Garden Shutters card. This is the one that makes a 5x7. These items were sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I would make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So this one is very similar to the garden shutters that I did just the other day. This one here, it's called Daisy Delight. In that it's going to pull open like this, right? And this one's an A2 size, really sweet, a lot going on for, you know, small A2 size card. This one will be for 5x7, so we will do that, get right to it. I did kind of go through these when I did the other card, but I'll show you real quick. We have what's going to cut an aperture, so this isn't cutting your actual 5x7, as you can see it's a little smaller than that. It's going to cut the aperture, this middle portion for you, this part here, for this outer frame. And then this portion is the mechanism that actually makes the shuttering, like where it does this part here that you see in the back. And we're going to use that a few times, and then that little shutter portion will fit inside this window. So you get 3 shutters, where on the A2 size you have the 2 shutters. And then we have mats and layer type pieces. I believe these are the same size. I was looking at them. I mean, if I look, you know, so maybe you can cut more than one at a time, which is nice, but they seem to be exactly the same size. So you can cut these guys and you can cut these guys at the same time, and that way you have a layer that does the inlay, and then one that just cuts the background, and you can run them through at the same time. And then you can also have this little guy that will cut you another layer that goes right inside of this size. So if you wanted to do that, have, you know, maybe, you know, whatever color in the background, and then you have this piece on top with your sentiment or however you want to use it. You have that piece. That's really nice. And they do mix and match with the A2 size dies and inlays, the portions that go in here. I don't know if I can see that. If you can see that they're basically the same size. So that's really nice. So if you pick up all the sets, you'll have all those mix and match abilities with the inlays. Like this one has that like, cute little lattice work. Where this one's more like scroll work. Really pretty. This one also comes with what you can use as a pull tab at the top or at the bottom, wherever it is. If you want your shutter to open whatever direction, you can put that. You also have the word pull, so if you wanted to put that word die cut in there, maybe run this through twice, so you have one that's a background plus the topper that has the word pull, if you want to use that. Beautiful butterflies. It has the words, I think, but what if you fly? Just a nice kind of uplifting sentiment there. And then we have our butterflies, and then lots of butterfly pieces, including the little bodies and just the little wings, you know, different things that you can mat and layer on top of that. So really cute. I think today I'm also going to use the, oopsie, the Primrose Heart Facade dies. So these have really pretty flowers in here. So I might pop some of those flowers on there. But I went through these also last time around, so little heart with like an inlay and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna grab some papers and we will get started. So we're gonna start with just our basic pieces. So I already have this piece of really pretty paper cut to 5x7, so I'm gonna use this. It's already cut down for me. And then I need 2 more pieces of 5x7. So just like the A2 size, we need 3. So what I'm gonna do with this one is cut it down. 7 inches. This is 8.5 by 11 paper, your standard A2 size paper, so that means I'm going to cut it to 7 inches here, and that way I can get 2 5-inch pieces this way. So 5 and 5, and of course I have samples, so they're just kind of in a little baggie when I get mine, but yours will be on a carrier sheet. Generally it has some info, but if you would like what in the link there, it has a PDF form of the instructions written out, similar to this, but this is usually what's on the carrier, so it has some info. And then again, they have full color instructions with the PDF there on the product link. So it does say on the first piece, so first piece being, you're going to have the piece that's in the back that's going to hold the shutter pieces, right? So this piece is in the back. This piece is going to have the shutter pieces cut into it, and then this piece is going to become a frame that goes over the top of that. So on one of these guys, whichever one you want to use, we're going to start off doing the same thing as we did before. We have this little guy. Oh, let me show you. It does say A7 on there. which is a 5x7 size, and then it cuts these little pieces here, and it says just to align it to this edge right here. So this little piece that's sticking out is helping you to say put it right against that edge, which is very helpful, because if you're looking at it, you can eyeball it, but you know, this side, so it's telling you to line that side up and line the very top up and tape that down and run it through your die cutting machine. So let me get my best ever craft tape, which is always linked in the description box. It's one of those basics. Okay, so I'm just going to tape that down. I'm going to run this through and I'll be right back. And then all we're going to do with this guy is move it down, and we're going to do it 2 more times. So I'm going to take that off very carefully. I'm pretty much going to leave this tape on there because I can just use it for the next 2 bits. So there's that. This is going to be kind of delicate what's underneath here, so you don't want to just like tear at it, because what that does is it loosens up pretty much all this paper, so it's just a little bit more delicate. Okay, so on this next one, let's pop out these little... You always want to clear out your dies. Like, there's a little piece of paper in there, and that's fine, but once you start building up, and if they keep getting stuck in there, it's not going to cut as well for you, so it's always better to clean out your dies. So we're going to line up again the little circles in here. So same lining up, but when you look through it, you're just going to place it there and eyeball your little circle. I can see it coming through right there. I'm looking at the die itself. Let's make sure this tape isn't already sticking down. Alright. There and right there. That looks pretty good. Since I have this tape, I can kind of push it. When I turn it over, I already have that lined up. Something like that. And you can kind of see through there. I don't know, I can see my map behind there. Alright, I'm going to run that through, and I'll be right back. Okay, and then I'm just going to do that one more time. So I'm going to take this off, and then let me take these and then realign it again with those little circles, cleaning out my die, and then aligning this, and you see it got that cut. The little circles again in the back, making sure it's left to right, you know, tape it down and run it through, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay. And then we have this last die. And now we're just going to cut, well, the next step on the little pictures there is to go ahead and Mountain and Valley fold this to get it ready, but let's go ahead and cut the frame so we have everything ready to go for the actual basic card. But hopefully you can kind of see what's going on here. This becomes quite delicate with all these little pieces here that are cut out. So I'm going to put that to the side. That is going to glue to this. And then this is our topper piece. That's going to create a frame, and I'm just wondering if I want to use that side or this side. I'm going to use this. How much of this cuts away? That will help me decide. I'll go ahead and cut this side away. You know, if you're looking at it, and if you are really someone who pays a lot of attention to detail, you probably want a smaller print. That way you can see it better in the background. So now, all we're going to do is cut this in the center. Now, you can just, you know, eyeball where the center is, right? Just center it in there, but you do want it lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and create some registration marks. But, you know, so this is 5 inches at 2.5. And making sure that's lined up nicely over here at 2.5. And I'm not going to, well, this middle part's going to cut out anyway. But I'm just going to take a pencil, and then I'll just erase it and kind of lightly put those marks. You can do this on the back side too, but then when you use your die cut, it's going to push into the back, and you'll have the rough cut side facing up. So I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. And then this we need to line up at 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. And I'm doing my best, but I know I'm trying to line this up so the camera can see it, so it's not great for me to be able to see it. There we go. And so now, since I did them so lightly, what I'm going to do is put this on here, and just look at my registration marks that I created. I know it's over here towards me because I got to see it. But lining up these guys, and then this guy in the center, right there. I'm going to tape this down and run this through. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay. I'll put that away for a second and pop this out. So that's the basic card. So this is, works up pretty quickly, and then whatever decoration it is you want to do is going to be next. So on here it tells you to mountain and valley fold different things. So I'm going to put it this way so it looks like the image. So hopefully you can see that the way it's kind of poking up. I know last time I showed you on my phone, so it was easier to see, but it's like this. And basically what they want you to do is, again, mountain and valley fold things. So mountain, this one, these two lines, to come up, which is really push it back, right? Because the mountain goes up. And then valley, which would be like a V shape. I think last time I said V, what I meant is upside down V, like for mountain, and then V shape for valley, this way, so towards you. Because basically when you glue it down, it's going to glue down like this. Okay, so that might be easier for you to see. That's why this one needs to go back. So as this one comes up, and then we're just going to squish it. You're just training it right now. Up, and then these little pieces go that way. And then again, this little guy goes up. It feels really fun. And then these guys go forward. Now, you're going to glue these on, just those tabs. And right now it doesn't matter because this is just our basic thing. And if you want to make this work going forward like this, then it's this way. If you want it to go up, like my other shutter card, then it's going to go this way. But for right now, that doesn't matter. You don't have to decide that yet. You're just going to always do the same thing regardless of which one you're doing. So right now, all we're going to do is, again, flatten it out. Just, you have it trained up. And we're only putting glue on these little squares. Okay, just that little tab. Okay, just there. Just on the little tabs. So the little tabs with the hole. And then the next time, when we add the frame, we'll get the rest of it. So right now, all we're doing is squaring this up. Just put this on here, making sure they're lined up, and glue down the little tabs. So what I normally do, since I'm using wet glue, is I try to make sure it didn't squeeze out anywhere else. So, even though I just put it down, I'll just kind of pick it up and make sure we're not gluing anything. Oh, you guys, and that's it. I mean, look how quick. This was like, this is so fun. Now, you're going to be able to open it like this much or all the way. It's up to you. Again, I should wait till this is glued down, but so if you want to train the thing to completely open up like that, you can do that now or later. But I just want to show you. So again, do you want your shutter to open like this? When the person pulls it, they see the message coming down like this, or do you want it this way? They pull it and it goes up like that, right? So however it is that you want to use it. So since the sentiments on this one is but what if you fly, I feel like it should go up. But you know what? Going down like this is really fun too. Alright, so I'm gonna, oopsie, see, I should wait till things are glued. Dry, should I say. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second. But when we come back, all we're gonna do is glue this part down. So again, if I'm gonna do it this way, since I want the words to go up like in a flying motion, I'm gonna be sticking the frame on the front. Either way, we're going to stick the frame on the front. If your paper has a direction, you want that direction to be correct, right? So that's all I was trying to say. I think mine looks good like this. But okay, I'm going to let that set up just for a second longer. Okay guys, and so to add our frame, all we're going to do is put glue in certain areas, and on the PDF format, they'll show you, and even on this back piece here, it tells you to put it just where it's yellow on there, which is basically inside of here, like in these areas. But I should start at the top. It's all of this. So I'm just putting glue on the very edges, kind of frame it out so you can see what I'm talking about. It's basically all of this, right? Into here, into these tabs, right? Into these tab areas. But I'm not touching this and this little tab that's already stuck down, or the one that's like right close to it, right that area. And then in here, So this whole thing. Okay, so pretty much the whole border, just not these little bits that are in here. And I'm just going to take this and place it right on top. Oh, I should have erased my little red. Actually, well, that's okay. I was thinking about using the pull tab this time around. Let me straighten this out as I'm gluing it. And I might just cut off the excess if I don't have it quite perfect. You know what I'm saying? You can square it up on your guillotine or trimmer. Okay, just making sure that's good. If you want to use this pull tab, I was thinking about embedding it in between these two layers. That way it's just in there, but we can also just add it to the back. But if you want to use this and you planned ahead for that, I would put it right in between the two layers that we just glued together. And that way you have it there. Okay. So there's that. And that's it. I mean, that's the basic shutter, right? So now we would like to decorate it. So let me think about what I want to do for that. I might square this up a little bit. Like I said, just put on my guillotine just to get rid of this little excess that's beige sticking out. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, so for my little flaps, I went and got some colors. I did square this up by just putting it on my guillotine and just cut off that little piece because this one was true 5x7. So if you just follow it, you're good to go. So what I think I'm going to do is put this deep kind of purple color in the background. So I'm going to cut a few of these. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the same for the back. Yeah, you know what, let's do that. So I'm going to cut 6 of this, right? So I need 6 of this guy. And for the front, I'm going to do 3 with the inlay. So this guy with the inlay. And I'll cut out 3 of those. Of course, when you're doing an inlay like this, you always want to tape those so they do not move. You do not want the dies to shift underneath each other because that would be not good for your machine or for the dies. But sometimes it happens. I mean, you'll get a little bit under, you know, don't panic. But you always want to tape them so they don't move. So I will be right back when I have these 3 cut out and then 6 of these guys. Okay guys, I have my pieces here. And before I keep continuing, I do want to erase my little registration marks. So whatever little marks I'd put, just erase those. And so we have these 3, and then these other 3 we're going to layer up with the inlay layers. So I'm just going to take these guys and get this glue going, hopefully. There we go. And it's really nice and fine. I'm going to put some glue in the back of my hand, kind of flatten it out. It also helps kind of flatten out the glue I just placed, but also get these little swirly bits in there. And so I'll do the same for all 3 layers, just layer those up. And I will be right back. Okay guys, so we have our pretty little layers here. I'm gonna do, let me see. I'm just trying to think about how I was gonna place them. I like that. Okay, so again, if you want to pop these up on dimensionals, just, you know, you have that much more dimension or whatever it is that you want to do, but I'm just putting glue on the back of this guy. Oh my goodness, this glue bottle. And just adhering those pretty much center on those flaps. And, you know, as you're looking at it, try to keep your card straight and this stuff straight. Trying to eyeball to make sure we're in there nice and straight. Move this way. And then I'll glue this one here, again, nice and straight, and this guy here. And then once those are down and nice and dry, I'll open this up. And I will go ahead and just put glue on these. And these I'm just leaving like this because I'm going to put the lettering, I think, in gold, so I want it to just pop. So I'll just glue these down, again, to each flap. Nice and straight. Okay, and I'll be back. Placing the last one here. And before I move on to just decorating and doing all that fun stuff, I'm going to go ahead and cut a pull tab just so you can see. Funny enough, I don't have a lot of this purple left if I wanted to use that, but I do have a little scrap, so I think what I'm going to do is back up this with it, and I have quite a bit of this lavender piece, so I'm just doing it for that reason. So on one of them I'm going to cut like this, just that piece. I'm going to sandwich it. So I have that piece, and then I'm going to do another one with the word pull in it. Now you want it to be this way, so you want the word to be able to be read in this direction, so it needs to go like that. Okay, so I'll just tape that down and run it through, and I'll be right back. So what I mean is this one, I had taped it down with this, then I ran the other one through, so now I have the word pull. And I'm just going to back this up. Now you can just do that and leave it like that, but then on the back, if you want it to look nicer, you know, it's just going to be showing through. So I'm just going to trim a little piece that I think will fit in there. I might have done that one a little small, but that's okay. And I will switch out my glue, I promise. It's almost done. I'll go ahead and put glue on this whole thing because I'm going to use it in just a minute. Oh my goodness. Throw a little piece here. Shine through that side. Now, I mean, there's another way. If we would have done this before or earlier, we could sandwich it between the two pieces on there. I'm going to go ahead and stick them down together, and right sides facing, or wrong sides facing, I guess, so they both have a nice cut on either side. Now, again, this is totally optional. And, you know, if your card is going up like mine, I'm going to put the pull up here. But if yours was going to be pulled down, you can pull down here, and you can also flip the words pull so that it's legible this way, right? It would be this direction, but with the cuteness down here. You can turn your words, but I know I was going to put mine up here, so that's what I'm doing. And again, we could have sandwiched this in between these two layers, right? But for now, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to have to hold on to it for just a minute. I don't want that to seal my card together. So I'm going to look in here. And I'm just eyeballing the center, but if you really want to put it down, you know, I can see I have like an inch here, an inch and something here, so I need to move it over just a little bit. Inch and an inch, there we go. So an inch on either side, hope you can see that. And we have our little guy. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up. And think about what I want to do for my decoration, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we have our beautiful card base here. Just lovely, nice size there. I'm gonna cut these words out, these letters. I have some gold paper here, of course, you know me, I save like every scrap. And so I'm just going to pop these on here. Again, it's the words, but what if you fly? You know, wherever I can fit these things. And I'll run those through, and I'll have my little letters. Before I get to the butterflies, I'm also going to do some flowers. I think I'm only going to do like one or two, maybe just one, because, you know, what you're planning on when you put this together is that nothing is obstructing here. So, I mean, if you put a little flower or something out here, that's fine. So when it opens up, it'll be okay. But it might, you know, once it gets here, it's going to stop it from opening, which is, you just have to eyeball where it is that you want to put things to make it work. Like if I put something here, obviously it won't want to open, right? So it needs to be kind of in the bottom corner, or it needs to be attached to this. So that's how we're going to play with that. I do have this kind of soft pinky purple mauve color. I don't even know. It's very light, but it has a lot of color in there. I'm going to cut out one of the flowers, and then the center I'll cut from this purple, just to bring that purple back in. And then I'll cut a couple of these little green leaves, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, I have my letters here and my little flower. Okay, I just want to make sure. Looks like that one's just pushed through. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to do real quick is just glue this little guy down, the little flower center. And then see how we're going to pop everything else in place. Cute. I'll put this to the side for a second because I know for the lettering we're going to put that on the inside. And I just want to see how I want to do this. If I want to put but, what if you fly? I think that's what we'll put on the inside here, of course. And so I'm just going to put a little glue on the back of my hand. I think this is the best way to do this one. It's very delicate and pretty. And so I'm just going to do that and put a little glue on the back of the pieces and just glue them down nice and centered as I can. Right? And I'll do these the same way. I'll be back. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so but what if you fly? And then we have our little flower. Again, I'm going to think about where is best to put this little guy. You know, you can put it wherever. Again, you don't want to obstruct anything. So I think I'm going to put this little flower in here somewhere. I'm not sure. And then we're going to cut some butterflies. So we'll just do that for now. I'm not sure if that's where I'm going to leave it, but that's really cute. And the butterflies, I'm just going to cut a few out. Probably from the same kind of like beige. So they're nice and light. I'll cut some of these pieces from, you know, some fun pieces. Maybe this from the gold, so that it has a gold body. I think that'd be very cute. And again, we have these little guys. So I'll just cut out different portions and see what I come up with, but I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I used all the same pieces that would make the layers of the butterfly. I just ran them all at once through this. It's really nice because the dies do have like lettering, I suppose, like number 1, 2, and 3. I guess those are numbers. At first I thought they were letters. 1, 2, and 3. So you know which butterfly those pieces go to. And I just want to see if I was going to do more accent pieces or if I was just going to do it like this. But I think this is what I'm going to do. Very simply, that lavender. And I was thinking about bringing in the darker purple possibly. But for now, I'm just doing this. And so they kind of fit in here like puzzle pieces. Depends on how much border you want to leave them. That's up to you. You know, if you want to stack that a little higher, or if you want the wing part to go over. Do you want all the layers, like the what be number 3 has a few different layers, but I think I'm just gonna lay them down like that. So I just kind of kept them on here. So we have this little piece that also would go with this guy, if I, you know, want to run through an accent color, or even this color just to give it some texture. Maybe I'll still do that since I have the piece there anyway. So just go through and, you know, add on your pieces. So that's what I'm gonna do for a moment. And then I'll be right back. Oh, and then after I'm done, I'll just pop the little gold body in the center. And those do cut out 3 at a time, so, you know, if you're doing 3 butterflies, you got them done. And, you know, any multiple of that, you do a few more. But I will be right back. Oh my gosh, so pretty. And this one I did do the layers, like I said, even though it's all the same colors. I just did the little layers on that guy, and then I'm just going to pop this on. So cute. Really smart the way they put the dies together, that way you can get it done. Again, if you want different colors, then you can do that, but I'm just doing it like this. And then, of course, you know, I like my butterflies to be a little bit kind of having some movement, so you can stick them down flat. I'm just going to make it so that when I glue them, I'm going to glue the body part down and leave the little wings doing their own thing. Alright, so let's bring this little guy back. And, oh, let me get my leaves. My little leaf. There he is. So if I put this one down here, wherever it is that we put that. Again, we want to make sure things are clearing that area. And then maybe some butterflies here and there. And this last guy. He can be up on the card, but I also want them there possibly. So let's see what that looks like if I had to pull this. Okay, he needs to go more in there. Okay, so I'll see where it is I want to place these. This one I'll put up with a dimensional. And let me see. Sorry, I'm just grabbing some dimensional pieces to kind of help me out. So yeah, I'll just do that and then just put down my little pieces, knowing where, you know, I want them so that they don't impede the shutter from opening and closing. And I will be right back. Again, with these guys, it would just be as easy as putting glue on the back and popping it down wherever it is that I want it. Okay, I'll be right back. Guys, this is what I came up with. I want to put this guy over here in the middle, just to give it a little more movement. And then I brought this guy down here with the flower. That'd be cute. And I can't really mess with it too much because, you know, I just put the glue, but look at that. So pretty. And then, but what if you fly? Again, I just made sure that these little guys would clear it. Oh my gosh. So pretty. So thank you so much, Spellbinders, for sending these items for review. I hope that gives you some idea of how to use them. Really simple to get that mechanism, that whole thing going, and then, you know, whatever decoration you would like to put on it. I mean, bring out all the other dies that you have, because, I mean, this is just a really sweet one to really deck out. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.